How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Manor Lords, and welcome back to Nedervond. Things are going relatively okay with Nedervond at the moment, but I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that we only have 12 months of fuel remaining. Now, the reason we're starting to run low on fuel is going to be because we have built so many new houses in Nedervond. We have so many new families in here, and we really haven't done much to expand our firewood production, and we haven't done much to make the charcoal kiln particularly effective. I mean, it's working, it does have charcoal, but we don't have much charcoal in storage. So this is kind of where I want to get started today. I want to start working to improve the general, I guess, firewood production in Nedervond. So that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to get ourselves a new woodcutter's lodge, and I want it to sit right back here, right behind this charcoal kiln. So it's going to go right about there. And then I also want to do a forester's hut out here, because I think getting some foresters will be pretty good for the area. I think it'll work out quite nicely if we can start to really go ahead and get just a whole bunch of new trees in here. So the forester, I think, will go, I suppose, just opposite this guy. So we'll try and line things up as best we can. It doesn't need to be absolutely perfect, but we'll go for, I want to say about there should be fine. And then hopefully we can go ahead and run some kind of little path up alongside all of this to about that spot. And then from there through the middle, we'll just connect straight through to about there. And I'm also thinking it might be an idea to actually go ahead and build a storehouse out here and set this storehouse up to only store firewood and charcoal. So that way we have a dedicated place for it, and hopefully things work out. Hopefully this works out really nicely for us and deals with half of the firewood problem. Although we don't have a lot of unassigned families. So despite the fact that putting a bunch of new burgage plots in here is part of the problem, we kind of need more. And I have a bit of an idea for how I want to do this. So we have this lake right here, which is where we're getting all of our fish for Nedervond. It turns out that if you were to go and build some burgage plots next to this lake, you can do something like this. You can go to like there, and you can come around and get them to follow the curvature of the lake. Now, you already know that I want to build an entire little set of houses around this thing. So that's pretty much what we're going to do. I'm going to start right about here. We're going to bring this road out. I'm not really too sure what size of houses we're going to be looking at here, but we're going to bring these guys around as best we possibly can. And I think we'll go right down to, I guess here is probably fine. Bit of a weird layout, but I'm sort of okay with that. It's not the end of the world. I think we could also come down this way and just do a little something like this, because this could be a market, which we are going to need and we are going to want. And then we'll go through, we'll get our burgage plots right up to that corner. We can go, I'm actually okay with doing something like that. That's kind of weird looking, but I kind of dig it. I don't, maybe not actually. Maybe maybe we just do something a bit more normal. Maybe this. That gives us a little bit of expansion at the back of that one house. Can I get something like this instead? I think I prefer that. So yeah, we're going to build 4 burgage plots right about there. We want to go to about this spot and come around and build another few burgage plots in here. And they're going to have some expansion space, which is okay. Looking at this, I don't actually think we're going to get much room at the backs of these plots, which I'm okay with. We don't actually have enough goods to build this either. So we're going to need to get some foresters, not foresters. What's this thing? We need another logging camp is what we need, or more people working at the logging camp, but that's okay. We'll get there. We have room for 6 new families coming in here. That's going to be perfect. That's going to help us out. And in fact, I think we're going to go ahead and prioritize construction of these burgage plots to get them done just that little bit quicker. Now, while that's all being built, I want to come over to Snurderburger because I want to take a look at the trading post here. I'm thinking that we want to make sure that we have tools in Snurderburger, and we do. We did import a bunch of tools from good old what's-its-face, Nedervond. I'm thinking we're going to import tools to this place, but I think what we're going to do is set a minimum of, say, 10 of them, so that we're not going to be doing it very often, but this will make sure that long term we have enough tools in Snowderburger to maintain everything, because we're not actually producing tools over here. So this makes, it makes sure that we can actually maintain all of our buildings, which is what we're going to be wanting to do. We also have a bunch of linen. We have some shoes. Why do we have shoes? Oh yeah, we export those. We export those to the region though, so we're not sending those to Nördrvand, which is good. Although I will say, I would really like to figure out how to move a bunch more yarn from Snowderburger to Nördrvand. We have almost 400. We have 436 wool in here, a bunch of linen, a bunch of leather. It would be really nice to move more of that over to Nördrvand. I don't know if another trading post is the solution to that problem. I'm not against getting another trading post, to be completely honest. It might not be the worst idea in the world to get another trading post. A band of raiders was seen nearby Nördrvand. Really? Ooh. Oh, that is close to Nördrvand. Okay, well, we can deal with this. Let me get my archers to start with. We'll rally these guys down here. We'll grab them. I want them to spread out. And we're going to try to set them up in a line right about, I want to say here should be fine. Now, I don't think the crossbowmen have all that much range with their crossbows, but that should be okay. We'll go ahead and rally all of you guys just in front of those archers. And we're going to hope that we can deal with this. I'm slightly concerned that we might lose the forager's hut, and I'm actually slightly concerned about the fact that these guys look to be going sort of towards my burgage plots, which I don't appreciate. In fact, yeah, that looks to be exactly where they're going. Okay, I need these polearm footmen or the polearm militia to go out and deal with that group of enemies, because this is actually going to be really bad for us. I need you guys to go deal with that. I want you. And I want, who do I want? I want you guys to go and try and deal with that group of enemies. And we're just gonna hope for the best on this. Because we really can't, oh, no. They are going straight for something. That's not good. Okay, well, my archers should be able to deal with this group. I'm really concerned about the group that seems to be going through the woods right now. I don't know where they're going. I don't appreciate that they seem to be going somewhere. We'll grab this and send you guys over here is what we need to do. It looks like they're actually falling back, which really works nicely for me. Okay, so they haven't burned anything down, which is great. We can deal with that. My archers, unfortunately, suffering a little bit over here. They're not very good at dealing with, infantry battles and whatnot. But we should be able to clear this out. We will suffer some losses, but unfortunately, that is a price I'm willing to pay. So we'll just clear this out, and I think for the most part, I think we're okay. I think we managed to avoid anything being burned down here, which is exactly what I was looking for. So that works. We'll grab everybody, we'll disband those groups, we'll send them back to work, we'll get the bodies buried. Oh, I forgot, I forgot I brought these guys over from Snowderburger. Oh my God. Yeah, you guys can go back to, I appreciate the effort, but you guys can go home. Anyway, when it comes to Snowderburger, I think we will go ahead and just build another trading post and see what happens. Now, we are going to need people to work in there, so I'm thinking we could also build some new burgage plots, maybe in here, maybe back here. I'm not really 100% sure where we should build new burgage plots. We were using this area for a lot of forestry. We could still use this area for a lot of forestry. And I would like to continue to use this area for a lot of forestry. So maybe, I don't know. I feel like people working trading posts should probably live relatively close to the trading posts. So maybe we can do like a little road here, and we'll see if we can put some burgage plots on this. I'm sure they're not going to be the biggest of burgage plots, but that should be okay. We could do a little something like this and kind of bring it back and up to there. And that should give us room for a decent number of people, assuming we can actually build in there, which I'm really hoping we can. So let's do a little something like this, go back to there. And if I go across, it doesn't really want to fill up the space, unfortunately. So if I go to here instead, does this work? This is not, it's too steep. Really? Oh, that's really unfortunate. I was really hoping I could make that work. I was really, really hoping for something good there. Can I do this? I can do this, which gives us just a single, well, technically a burgage plot with an expansion space. I'm willing to do that. I think that'll be kind of cool. We can do like a little single burgage plot down there. Can I do some plots back here? Is this a space that we can build in? No, it's also too steep to build on. That's really unfortunate. I was really hoping this would work. I really wanted this to work, but I understand why it doesn't. I do get it. I guess we'll just put some burgage plots in here and it'll be fine, is what it'll be. I do want to turn off Snap to Road because I want this to be nice and straight up to there. We'll turn on Snap to Road again. And can I get this to fill up that area? I sort of can. I don't love this, but I'm also not totally against this. We'll go ahead and build it. We can do a little market area just in this corner, maybe. I don't think it actually gives us any market stall locations. What about up here? Does this give us anything? It actually does, and I'm kind of okay with that. So it fills up that space nicely. We get some burgage plots down here. We get this burgage plot down here. That's not a burgage plot, that's a sheep farm. This burgage plot down here. And that should be enough to get this new trading post up and running, which is what we're looking for. We'll also get another horse, and we do have a bunch of stables in here that don't have a bunch of animals, so they can totally go and live over there, and that should keep us pretty good. And then coming back to Nedervond, it looks like most of these houses have been built, which is absolutely fantastic for us. So let's just stay on topic with the burgage plots. We'll put a little marketplace into here, if that's going to be a thing that it's going to let me do, which apparently it doesn't want to. I'm not really sure why the game doesn't want to work with me today. Really not sure. Really not sure what's going on with Manor Lords at all. Look, it has its days, you know? There's some days I play this and everything just works flawlessly. There's other days I play this and it just hates everything that I try to do. It's temperamental is how I think I'm going to choose to describe this game. I love it, but it definitely has its moments. It definitely has its moments. I think what we'll do is this. I think that'll be okay. It's only 3 market stalls, but I'm okay with that. It's better than none, which is the alternative. And I guess we go around and we just try to put more burgage plots in here. So we'll do something like this, which gives us another 4 burgage plots. And then if we go in here, we really don't have a lot of space. So I'm really curious to see what this tries to do, if anything. Is this enough room for a burgage plot? Are we able to get anything in here? Unfortunately, no. But that's okay. I don't mind that too much. We could adjust the road if I wanted to. This is still another 4 burgage plots in here, which we are going to need. And if we look over this way, we do have all of this stuff built as well. So let's make sure that this storehouse is only accepting fuel, which I think is right down at the bottom. So yeah, we're only accepting charcoal. We're only accepting firewood. We can go ahead and say that this woodcutter's lodge is going to start working instantly, which is fine. We have 1 family working in construction, which I'm totally okay with. And hopefully that's going to help deal with the problems, or at least the firewood, the fuel problem that we have in Nedervond. Hopefully. We can get more of those guys. We can totally get more woodcutters if we need them. I'm just hoping that we don't need them. Now, something else I would like to do while I'm in the area is go ahead and start setting some limits on my blacksmiths. So this guy is making sidearms. I don't know how many of those we necessarily need, but what I want to do is say that this guy's not going to make sidearms until we have 10 iron slabs in reserve. That way, if I go around all of my blacksmiths, which is going to be, well, I'm going to have to find all of them. I know we have a couple, at least 1 down here. It's this guy. Basically, we can make sure this guy has a limit of 5, so we'll say that you can have a limit of 10 as well. We can make sure that my smithy or whichever blacksmith is going to be working on tools is going to have no reserve on it, so they can just go ahead and make tools whenever they want to make tools. So we have a blacksmith in here. We have a blacksmith right here. Do we have more blacksmiths around here? I really don't remember. I really should remember, but I just don't. I know the smithy is right here. So if we look at you, you have an iron slab limit of 20. We're going to bring that down to just 0. So you get priority on the iron slabs. that should make sure that you are able to make the tools that we need to repair things, because we do have buildings that need maintenance, and they can't get maintenance if we don't have tools to maintain them with. All right, so coming back to Snowderburger once again, we have all these burgage plots built, which is fantastic. This one can get its expansion built, and we also have 4 unassigned families, so we'll go ahead and put them into the trading post instantly, which is going to slow down construction a little bit. Obviously, we know how these things work, but I'm okay with that. What I think we're also going to do is, let's see, what do we need for food out here? We have a good amount of pork. We have a good amount of everything, really. We do have a really nice variety out here. The bread situation could be better, but we'll deal with that, I'm sure. So I guess we could do maybe some goats at the back of this place. I don't know if we need more leather, to be honest. I think we'll just do chickens at the backs of these places just because we can afford it. We have the materials. We might as well get a little bit more chicken into Snowderburger. That just seems like a good thing to do. And you know, we've been playing around with unlimited work areas for all of our farmhouses, but I do think it maybe makes sense to say that this farmhouse is only going to work on these farms. I think it's just probably sensible that these guys aren't crossing the entire, I don't know, region to work on some other farms. This guy, I'm thinking kind of similar idea. I think we start putting in some work areas for these guys. It can be pretty sizable. I don't mind them working in huge areas. I just don't want them crossing over to those farms that we built recently. So these guys will cover all of those fields. This farmhouse right here is going to cover everything else, I'm hoping. Oh, that was a little bit too far out. Let's try that again. So this guy is going to cover, hopefully, all of this. I think that's all of the fields right there. That should be all of them covered. And that should make things just a little bit more efficient. That's the hope anyway. That's kind of what we're looking for. I do want these fields to work really nicely. I want all of these fields to continue working really nicely. I'm a little concerned about how little bread we have in here, so that's kind of why I'm wanting to make those a bit more efficient. And so hopefully that does. Hopefully that works out. Hopefully we do end up with the fields working just that little bit better. So just while we were looking at the region map, I'm thinking it's maybe time that we do look into claiming some other territories. Now, obviously, we've been looking at this place down here for the longest time because there is a rich resource node with an endless supply of stone down here, and that could be really good for us. That's something we could send back to Nedervond. We could turn it into dressed stone. We could turn it into whatever. We could export that for a bit of money, which I'm not against doing. That could work out really nicely for us. But I also noticed that these guys have an endless node of salt. Now, salt can be really useful because if we go to our butchers over here, we could set them to use salt and pork to make sausages, which it's 1 salt, 1 pork for 2 sausages versus 1 carcass for 1 mutton, 1 hide. So salt could give us slightly better food supplies is what I'm thinking. So if we owned that territory, we could go down there, we could get that salt, we could send it back to both Nedervond and Snowderburger, and we could use our butchers to make sausages, which I'm very much in favor of. I do like a good, I do just with like breakfast, like a full, I was going to say a full English. We don't really do full English. We do what's called an Ulster fry where I'm from, which is not, it is different to a full English. We have something called potato bread, which, let me tell you, every single person I've introduced to potato bread, I think it's in Scotland as well. I don't remember if it's in Wales. I haven't been in Wales in about 20 years. But if you look it up, whatever you're doing right now, I don't care where you are, you know what, to hell with this video, go and Google Irish potato bread or Northern Irish potato bread. I don't care which one, do whatever you prefer. And it's the most amazing thing. That with some beans, some fried eggs, some soda bread, some sausages, bacon. It's such a good breakfast. I mean, you're going to want to sleep. You've just got up. You've just had a really, just nothing but fried food, and you're immediately going to want to go back to sleep. Also, there we go. I thought the game had frozen. We're good. Yeah, bit of a tangent, sort of related to sausages. I think I've talked myself, man, I'm like, my mouth is watering at the thought of like going and making like just a bunch of fried food. I think we're going to try and take this place over is what we're going to try and do. Now, I don't know how this works. I don't know if I need to bring my army down here. So I'm going to rally everybody is what I'm going to do. In fact, I'm not. That seems stupid because we might get in some trouble. If Nodervon gets attacked, I want there to be someone to defend it. So we'll send some of the troops down this way. I don't know if we need them. I don't know if we actually invade, because all I'm going to be doing is clicking on this place and claiming with influence. It's 2,000 influence to take this place over. So we're going to see what happens. In fact, I'm relatively sure. So who owns which region? This is like yellow. This one's green. So I think it's you, right? So dear Erhardt, no influence cost makes you acquainted and grants further diplomatic options. We'll do this one. Can I not do this one? There we go. Ah, yet another dog has crawled here, is what we're going to go for. So we'll send that, and we will start putting troops on the border, and we'll just see what happens, is what we're going to do. We're just going to see how it goes. I'm sure everything's going to be fine. I don't know if I can continue to do, diplomacy. Looks like we can declare war. Interesting. We will do that. We absolutely will, but I want to have my troops over here first, and they are taking their time in getting here, so we're going to do this very carefully. All right, so with the troops on the border, let's zoom out again. Let's go to you and declare that, well, your time has come. Enemies declared, that's fine. So we don't like these guys now. I don't know if anything changes by not liking these guys. We do have a letter. I can make it worthwhile if you drop all your claims. I'm assuming, are you giving me money, or is this how long I would drop the claims for? We're gonna write back is what we're gonna do. We can end this for a small payment. I may withdraw. My claims are non-negotiable is what we're gonna be saying. My claims are non-negotiable. We are not withdrawing our claims. We're going in here. We're taking over. I don't think we can actually attack anything because I don't know if there's anything. Oh my God. Is this just all of his people just chilling because most of the production buildings have been burned down? Oh my God. I'm doing them a favor, man. Oh, they are freaking out at the sight of my troops. I mean, fair enough. I don't think we can kill them, but, or can I? Can I tell them to like fire at will? I've got no reason to do this. Can I just take over? Is that, can I just like click on this and claim with influence? Can't claim when enemy units are present. Am I the enemy unit? Oh my God. I don't know how this works. I don't know. Look, Manor Lords is in early access for a reason. So I have no idea. I have no idea how this works. So we'll leave the region. Now if we zoom, no, we'll stay over there. Now if we zoom out, can I claim this with influence? Press claim towards region. There we go. Okay, so we are working to claim it. I don't know how long this is. Wait, oh wow. There is a battle. Hold on a second. This is interesting. Status losing. Both challengers must bring their armies to the battlefield. When the time runs out and there is no challengers' troops present on the battlefield, the lord who initiated the challenge wins. Where is the battlefield? The battlefield is here. Okay, so I do need to bring troops to the battlefield. I can do that. I can absolutely do that. We'll put my troops over here. That puts me on the battlefield. And I would be shocked if this guy has any troops to fight back with. I'm gonna be honest. I don't suspect that he's gonna have any troops to fight back with, which is fine and totally works for me. It's just a little unfortunate that, well, this is gonna be a very, very easily fought battle. You know, it's just hit me as this war is coming to an end that there is only one source of food in this region, and it's fish. Now, do we have any fertility in here? We have a bit for wheat, which is fine. No flax, no barley. We have a good amount for rye as well. So we're going to be going in on farming, basically, is what we're going to be doing. Fishing and farming, kind of just like how we started over in Nodervon, I suppose. I also don't know if I keep everything that's here, which, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is just a bunch of burnt down burgage plots. So yeah, we're not we're not giving up our claims to this place. That is not happening at all. There is no world in which I'm not taking over this region. That's just, I mean, I'm here now. It's 6 days until it's mine. And any second now, it should just become mine, right? Yeah, peace has been declared. There is hunger in this region, which makes sense. And apparently, oh boy, this is, oh man, what do we do with a region that has no supplies? Why did I take this over? Why did I, there's unassigned families, but here's the thing. We have no materials, right? We have a trading post. We have oh my God, look how rich this region is. Oh, okay. Well, that changes things. I can import tools. So how do I rebuild things is the question. So rubble, to rebuild it, I need timber, which we have none of. If I go in here, a logging camp needs tools, which is fine. So we need to import tools is what this tells me. So let's set up a trade route for this. Let's import tools. Let's say we want 10 of them, and that'll be fine. We can then use those to build a logging camp, I'm sure. Man, this is, I've bitten off a little bit more than I can chew here, I think, is what I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm sure they did have a logging camp here somewhere. I just don't know where it might have been. It's not any of those buildings. What have I done? What was this? Just rubble. Hold on. Do I not get to know what buildings are before I rebuild them? Generic storage, rubble. I'm assuming, I've really got no idea. I really have no, we just need tools is what we need at this point. We need tools so I can start to piece together what I'm looking at here. Thankfully, we do have a ton of money, so we can make this work. Did we ever have a fisherman's hut here? I'm assuming this was one, right? Maybe I should just tear it all down. That might also be an idea. In fact, I think that's exactly what we're gonna do. So we're gonna tear down this marketplace. We have all this rubble in here, which we can rebuild if we want to, but these are a bunch of goods stalls that we can just clear out of here and start to work on putting together another marketplace. I think a lot of the burgage plots can kind of just go. I don't know if we get stuff back when we demolish rubble, but we're gonna find out is what we're gonna do. So whatever this was, I have no idea. If I demolish it, I don't get stuff back from it, which is actually really unfortunate. This I think was probably a stable, so that can go away. This, I have no idea, is also gonna go away. These were probably hitching posts, which is totally fine. Those can go too. I think a bunch of these were just burgage plots. We do have wax in here, which is fair enough. That's great. That's probably something that we would have wanted. Not really sure why this region was so set on wax, but to each their own, I guess. Now, the good news is we do have tools here now, so I'm hoping we can build a logging camp, which apparently we cannot. Interesting. That's really concerning. I mean, we don't have timber. That's I think the reason we can't build a logging camp. We do have a single piece of timber right there, which is going towards the construction of this burgage plot, which I'd really prefer it didn't, to be quite honest with you, because we don't have a supply of timber. Now, fortunately, we can build this guy now. There's really not that many trees in this region, though, so I think what we're going to do is build this guy just right over here. So right about, I want to say there is going to be perfectly fine for this thing. We'll maybe spin it around and put it sort of that way. That's going to give us a supply of timber, which we so desperately need in here. We are obviously going to need a bunch of burgage plots, and oh my God, my royal tax is now 3.4 thousand. I don't know that we can afford that, but we're gonna find out together is what we're gonna do. I have my doubts, but oh, don't look forward to that. Do not look forward to that. That's gonna be rough. Okay, so after a little bit more demolition, we've been left with an absolute mess in this new region. So I think what I'm gonna do is connect this place up to this road right about here, and we're gonna try to build some storage out this way so that we have a little something going on. I think we could also build a woodcutter's lodge. I think that would be a really good idea to get that going pretty much right away. I think a saw pit is going to be kind of essential as well, although I'm kind of thinking that a storehouse is probably more essential at the moment. We do also want a granary, which is going to require some stone, which we don't have any of, so we're going back to the trading post to import some stone is what we're going to do. And we'll say that we want maybe, I don't know, 25 of that. We'll set up a dedicated trade route for it, and we'll get that going as well. That should be totally fine though. So this gives us a woodcutter's lodge, a storehouse. We are also going to need a granary, but again, we can't get that right now. We will be wanting a saw pit and a forester's hut. So let's do the saw pit, I guess, next to storage. Let's do the forester's hut, I guess, right about here, and that should be fine. We have a lot of unassigned families, so we can absolutely make this work. Construction probably won't take too long because we also have a lot of animals running around. And I think on that note, I actually want to start moving all of our stables over to this space as well, just to sort of get them out of the middle of town, because it really annoys me that they're all just, again, sitting in the middle of town. So every single one of these needs to go over to this space, and hopefully we just turn that into a really nice little production area is what I'm hoping to do here. So that's 4 stables. I'm sure there's more of them in here. They're just scattered around this place, and I've probably bulldozed most of them by this point. But at the very least, this just starts to tidy things up a little bit. I also need to go through and get rid of all these tiny little stubs of roads that are connecting a bunch of the buildings together, because there are a ton of them. But if we can tidy all this up, which I'm really hoping we can do nice and quickly, we can get people working in the storehouse. We can start moving all of the supplies that are laying around the place into the storehouse, and then I'm just hoping for good things. So we'll get this thing going. We will upgrade it right away. We'll get another bunch of people in there because we have them available. We'll get people in the woodcutter's lodge. We'll get people in the forester's hut. Don't need to worry too much about the stables. I don't think that's going to be the end of the world if they don't have people working in them. And we should see a bunch of people going around and starting to collect the supplies, which is what we're looking for. Now, I will say, so many of these burgage plots are all sorts of different shapes and sizes. I really don't like that. So even though this one has goats or pigs or whatever, I think this one is going to be bulldozed. This one over here is kind of a similar story. It's going to be bulldozed as well. And we need the person inside to leave, apparently, before we can do that. I think there we go. And then these guys, unfortunately, are going to be the same story. They're getting bulldozed because we just sort of need to make them a bit bigger. We need to get big vegetable gardens or orchards. We can find an area for pigs and goats at some point, but we need to use a little bit more of the land around here. And I also need to be mindful of the fact that we do have a lot of rye fertility through this area, so I can't go too crazy with this production over here. And actually looking at this, now that I think about it, it might be a really good idea to try and set this up right away while we have so many people available. So let's do a little something here. Let me do something like this, and it's going to go to about that spot, and we're going to come straight. In fact, it's going to go a little bit further, apparently, because that's not long enough to go around the back of this building. I guess we'll do to about there, and that'll be fine. We're going to come down this way and do a little something like this. I want to come down this way as well, and then across the backs of these buildings. And this is just going to sort of enclose this space. I know this isn't necessary, but it means that I can put something like a farmhouse at the end of it, or I can put a farmhouse down here, or anywhere really, and then just fill up the rest of the space with farms, which is what I'm looking to do. So am I going to bother? Oh, am I going to bother trying to make these all different weird shapes and sizes. Do I care enough to do that? I don't know that I necessarily do. I mean, I do. I'm not gonna lie. There's a part of me that definitely does. So let's just do a little something like this. So we have kind of a weird shape up there. This is obviously just gonna be straight across, which is totally fine. So we'll sort of bring this down to this spot, and I guess just straight across the border. I don't remember how far down this needs to go. So we'll just sort of bring it around here. And then I guess bring it sort of back towards our little production area, which I think is going to be connected to about there. That is probably more space than we need. If we look at rye fertility, it does sort of extend down there, so that's probably fine. I think what we'll do then is a road that goes straight up through here, and that corner is where the farmhouse can go. So it's going to live right about there, which is a relatively fertile spot, but it's going to be okay. We can make this work. We'll go to here. We'll go to about there, and that'll be fine. We are going to need a windmill, which I think in this case is going to live maybe back there. It's not exactly a great spot for it. Can I get anywhere that gives us 100% efficiency on this guy? I could put it up on this hill. That's kind of a cool spot for it. It's a little bit out of the way, but it's kind of a cool spot for it. Do we have 100% efficiency in here? We do, which I think would be a little bit better. So I'm going to put a windmill just back there. I think is going to be totally okay. I think we can work with that. We'll bring a little road sort of off of here that leads us right to the connection is apparently on the back. Okay. All right. Let's do my usual thing of putting a circular road around the windmill first. And then I guess with a little bit of a road layout done here, we can start to put our fields into all of these different spaces, which gives us something that's going to look kind of interesting. And I know the aesthetics don't really matter, but that's fine. We can still have something that looks kind of cool in here since, you know, it's me and I like to do this kind of thing. So we'll get a field right about there, and we'll get another one right in here as well, which is going to just loop around into that corner. Now, I would like to check rye fertility. It does exist in all of this space as well. So I think I'm just going to look at doing maybe just one big field in here if it's going to let me do that, which I'm really hopeful that it will, and it absolutely does. So that's pretty solid. And that's probably a good amount of rye, to be honest, for what is going to amount to however many families. I think, oh, total population 212. Interesting. Okay, we'll manage is what we're going to do. So we want to do crop rotation. We want to do rye and then wheat. It's not great, but I think it's the best we can do for now. So rye and then wheat. We can do, I guess, wheat and then rye in these ones just to sort of change it up a little bit. I think that's probably fair enough as well. These guys will do fallow, then rye, and then wheat. And that should keep us pretty solid, I would think. In here, it'll be sort of same story. So rotate and then rye and then wheat. And this big one, we're going to say is rye pretty much instantly, then maybe fallow, then maybe wheat. I don't really know if it makes too much of a difference. I know we have fertility down here as well, although not that much. We do have a good amount in this space, though, which is annoyingly right by our salt deposit. So I think we'll just sort of leave this be for now. We'll make this a very high priority. We'll make the windmill the highest priority as well. And then we are going to need some level 2 burgage plots to make this all happen. So these guys need church, they need fuel, they need meat, fish, or animal produce, they need vegetables, grain, and fruit. I hadn't thought about this. Vegetables, I guess, will be from vegetable gardens, so we can make this work. I think. I'm relatively sure that we can make this work. I also think that I'm going to try to, I guess we want to get a fisherman's hut in here as quickly as we possibly can, because that's going to be important for us as well. So we'll get a fisherman's hut, I guess this way around should be totally fine. We'll put it about there, and we'll just connect this guy down to the main road. And that should be completely fine for us. That'll give us another little source of food. I do like the idea of connecting this guy down through here as well. I think that might be a relatively solid idea. So we'll sort of bring this road down and connect it to there. And we'll bring this road sort of straight out, kind of around the lake a little bit, and then up to that main road as well, just because we can, just to change things up a little bit. It gives us a little bit of access through there, which is going to be good. Now, we probably want to start getting some new burgage plots, is what I'm thinking. So I'm going to do, we're going to want meat is what we're going to want. We're also going to want a good amount of vegetables. So let's do some burgage plots in this area. And these guys are going to have goats and pigs. And then we'll do some slightly larger burgage plots over here that are going to have a bunch of vegetable gardens so that we can hopefully manage to do some good things. Now, this might all be a little bit too big for some burgage plots. I'm not actually too sure about this. I might actually, yeah, we'll go a little bit smaller on that is what we're going to do. We'll kind of come out like this and that'll be okay. I don't know if it, I don't know if there's an upper limit. I mean, I know you can make burgage plots huge, but what I mean is I don't know if there's a point at which the size of a burgage plot really doesn't have all that much benefit. I don't know. I might have to experiment a little bit and find out. But what I'd like to do is something like this, and this will be a bunch of either goats or pigs. It doesn't really matter which. And then over this way, kind of the same idea. So we fill up this space as best we can. It's a bit of a weird looking space, admittedly. So maybe we try to make it a little bit less weird looking. It's still going to be a bit of a weird looking space, I think. I don't think I can make it all that much less weird unless I do this in much smaller sections, which we do have the option of doing. This I'm okay with, though. That's going to give us some room for expansion. So we'll do this and then maybe just do burgage plots one at a time so that they kind of look decent is my thinking here. That's a little bit too big for a single plot. I don't know that I love that. I can work with this is what I can work with. And then we'll bring this around. We'll fill up this area and that seems fine as well. So that's going to be a bunch of new burgage plots with goats and pigs. We should probably do some with chickens as well. So maybe we kind of continue this through and we'll do a bunch that have chickens too. And maybe some aviaries kind of down this way to benefit the farms. Although, aviaries? Apiaries? Aviaries are the Jurassic World one. That's the birds one. It might be better to do those kind of in this area so they're much closer to the farm. I do like that idea. So let's bring a little road out here. Just something like this. We can kind of bring it around a bit and then kind of connect it over to this road. We don't need to do all this, by the way. The roads don't need to be connected like this. I just like them to be. Also, what's going on here? Running out of food? They're gonna be. That's absolutely, they're gonna be running out of food. That's a given. That's to be expected. They don't have anything in here. So they're gonna have to deal with that is what they're gonna have to do. Let's bring a road sort of up this way and connect it to, can I get it to connect there really nicely? I totally can, which is great. These could be vegetable gardens. This could be chickens is what I'm thinking. And then over here, vegetable gardens and bees. So let's just get to it. Let's get a massive amount of burgage plots in here. We do not have enough goods to do this, but those are some really nice looking burgage plots. I've got to be honest, those are pretty good looking burgage plots. If we do this, we get 12 of them. Again, we don't have enough goods for it, but that one on the left, that can just be like one big farm or something. This will be good. We can make this work. We're gonna save this place is what we're gonna do. Okay, so the good news is we've managed to survive a winter, although people are now dying from starvation, which is obviously not exactly ideal. A little bit problematic that people are dying from starvation in here. We do have the fields, which are not producing anything right now. We do have fish, which we're hopefully going to get some stuff from shortly. We do have a granary. We do have things coming together. It's just that, yeah, people are struggling to put it mildly. So I think what we're going to do is maybe look to import something. I don't quite know what would be best to import here. Bread is obviously going to be expensive. We could import chicken. I should probably also start looking to... Well, I don't know what we import. I guess we do bread. I guess we make that a dedicated trade route. And I guess we want to say the surplus is going to be... We'll say 40, maybe 30 for now, and just see how that goes. Hopefully it goes well. We can go to these burgage plots now and start doing animal pens, which I think is going to be a solid idea so that we can start to work on these upgrades and so that we can start to get a little something out of these burgage plots. It is going to be a lot of planks to make this work. We are going to have to pay for the animals, of course. But if we can start to get some food in here, we can start to stop people from starving to death, which would be, you know, ideal. That's kind of the plan. That's kind of what I'm hoping for with all of this. It is coming together, to be fair. Like we're making progress. It's just slow. We'll also do, I guess, some chickens up here. Like I said, we were going to do. Obviously, we have some market space in here with the granary as well. So this is, it's coming together. We're getting somewhere with this. It's just, it's going to take a little bit of time to make sure that people aren't starving to death in here. It's going to take a little bit of time to make sure that we actually do have, well, actually we do have fuel. It is just food that's the problem now. So take that for what it is. It's gonna take time, but we'll get there. Oh, now this is interesting. We are now in debt to the king because we didn't manage to pay off our royal tax. That has me slightly concerned. Now we could go and do our usual trick of increasing regional wealth from burgage plots in this new region, which might not be the worst idea in the world. To be honest, it really might not be the worst idea in the world. I don't know so what is this? Enables converting burgage plots with backyard extensions into small holdings. Like artisans, they treat their backyard as a permanent job, increasing their yield. I don't know what this means. I have no idea what this means. Increased success chance for tree planting. That's fine. That could be good as well. I don't know. So that's increased approval from food variety. I guess we can hover over these and see what we get. We're not going to be doing hunting in here, so this is probably not really necessary. Improved production, whatever. Improved blacksmiths. Is there anything here? Clothing durability increase. Consumption of all clothing goods minus 50%. That would have been really useful in Nordrvand. I'm just going to say it. Also, sheep being more resilient would be really useful as well in Nordrvand. I don't really see anything in here that is going to be particularly useful for us. Maybe mining speed increase. That would be pretty good for the salt mines. I'm kind of curious to see what a small holding does. So like artisans, they treat their backyard as a permanent job, increasing their yield. So basically we're going to try this is what we're going to do. I have no idea. I'm assuming it means I can go to you and say, let's convert you into a small holding and then have you deal with pigs constantly. The residing families become permanently assigned to their backyard extension, increasing yield. Let's try it. I don't know. I don't think it needs a construction. I think it just puts them, yeah, it is now a small holding. So they are pig farmers is what that tells me. And I'm okay with that. That's how we're going to do this. We'll convert a few of these guys into small holdings and just see how it goes, I guess. I don't know what it does for the extensions, but that's fine. I think increasing yield from the pigs is probably a good idea. Maybe all of these guys get turned into small holdings and then the rest of them can be normal. That might not be the worst idea in the world. And you know what? While we're here, let's do a little bit more construction in this space just to get these burgage plots into these areas. Admittedly, not as many burgage plots as I was looking for, so maybe we do this slightly differently. We'll start here, we'll go to here. That's going to give us 4 burgage plots, decent-sized backyards on them. I can sort of work with that. I might... you know what? Yeah, we'll do this, is what we'll do. Those can be vegetable gardens or orchards or something. And then in here, we could do this. Now, admittedly, I don't know how I feel about this because it feels like this area could be better used if I rotated this around. I don't know. I like the idea. I like the idea of having these guys face this way. I suppose it doesn't really matter too much, and we probably should go for what's most efficient for this area instead of what I think is going to look cool. So we'll do this, is what we're going to do, and that's just going to be like a big farm or something. Okay, so most of the burgage plots have been built. In fact, I think all of the burgage plots have been built. So what we can start to do is go through and put all of the vegetable gardens into these plots that we're going to be looking for. We can go through and make sure that all of these guys have their pigs and their goats. So these guys are going to be getting some animal pens in their backyards. Same with these guys as well. And we want to just make sure, I've slightly changed my mind. I don't think we're going to set all of these to be small holdings because that might be kind of wasteful. But I think some of them being small holdings is going to be, at the very least, useful. Now, to upgrade these guys, they're still going to be needing church access, and they're still going to be needing meats, fishes, or animal produce. So let's get them a church. The animal produce will come with time, and I'm thinking the church could look really cool in this space if it's going to let me do it, which I'm not entirely convinced it's going to. Oh, it does? It absolutely does. I think it would look quite cool there, to be honest. Right in the middle of everything, we have the church right there. We can sort of connect all these different roads around it and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a nice little focal point for this little town. Do something like this as well. It gives us room for another market in here, which we are almost certainly going to be wanting. So we'll go ahead and do a little something like this, and that's a bunch of free market space. And I think that's going to look good. I think it's going to look great having the church right in the middle here. We could look to move the manor into the middle as well, and I'm kind of thinking that that might not be the worst idea in the world. So yeah, we're going to demolish the manor, and I guess we're going to rebuild the manor down this way. Now, whether or not I want to put, oh, I have to be mindful of the salt as well. I don't think we're going to put walls around this manor, to be completely honest, but I do like the idea that it would still have its own little plot of land. So I think we'll do something like this, and we'll do the manor just sort of back from the road a little bit. So we'll turn off snap to road. We can rotate it around so it's kind of facing the church. I think that could look quite cool. And it's going to live right about, I think, there. It should be fine. Now, we can put things like the garrison tower on here. I think we actually do have the materials for that, which could be quite cool. We have something like the tax office as well, which is kind of neat. We could swing that around and maybe try to put it on this side of things if that's going to be an option, which it actually is. And you know what? I like the idea. It is cosmetic only, but I think it's going to look quite cool if we have a little tax office right there. And then I think we will do the garrison tower on this side of things. And unfortunately, we don't have the resources for that. What are we missing? We don't have, I don't know what we don't have. Can I get rid of the garrison tower? We could level it up. That does look so good. I love that so much. We can do this. What if I get rid of you and did the garrison tower instead? Is that a thing we can do? No. So we're just not doing the tower, is what that tells me. We'll do the little cosmetic tax office, I think. I think that'll be kind of nice in this space just because we can. So we'll commit to this. That's going to let me tax the people of this new region, which I think is going to be kind of important. And then hopefully we can get some level 2 burgage plots so that hopefully in the not too distant future, we can start to turn some of the, we don't have any flour right now. Did we ever assign anyone to work out here? We did. Okay, well, we'll get to that, I'm sure. At some point, we'll figure that out. Do we have stuff in storage here? We do. Let's make this a priority so that they start working through that. If we can get some level 2, it's actually just church access that they need to turn some of these guys into level 2 burgage plots. If we could do that and turn these two into level 2 burgage plots, that would be kind of amazing because we can get some bakeries and we can start to make sure that this place has food, which would be a really, really nice turnaround compared to where this place was when we get started here today. So let's make sure that the church is the higher priority here. The manor can wait, although I do need to make sure that we don't annoy the king a little bit too much here, but the manor can wait. I want my level 2 burgage plots and I want my bakeries. Oh, there we go. We have our first level 2 burgage plot. Let's get you turned into a bakery. The one next door is super close to having the same treatment, which would be amazing. The first of 2 pieces of timber have arrived. I've also started working in a garrison tower over at the manor because I can, and I figure we might as well. I think it's going to be kind of cool to have that in here and just sort of really put my stamp on this town, which, to be fair, wasn't mine all that, not that long ago. So this is cool. I'm really, really enjoying this. I'm really glad I took this place over. It's been a really fun challenge trying to get this to work. It's been really, really fun. Let's get this to be a bakery as well. You are going to be dealing with wheat bread, and then this other one can deal with the rye bread once we get this thing together. We still have 26 unassigned families. There's still 6 that are homeless, or 7 homeless families right now, so we do still need more burgage plots. But if we can solve the food problem, which we've kind of solved, we don't have a lot of it, but we have more or less solved the food issue. No one's starving to death yet. So, fingers crossed that everything kind of works itself out. Also, if someone can finish this, there we go. You are going to be doing rye bread, and that should give us a nice little bit of production right there. That's kind of fantastic. I'm very, very happy about this. It's very, very cool. I'm really, really pleased that we've managed to sort of do this. Now, we probably don't want to grow this town's population too much right now. Obviously, we do want the salt deposit. We do want to start getting some butchers, probably in here and probably in my other towns. Well, we already have them in the other towns, but I think what we probably want to do is deal with the homeless families that we have. We can grow the population a little bit in doing this. I don't want to grow them too much, but I think what we'll do is something like this. In fact, I think we'll do this in 2 sections just to make sure we don't go too crazy with it. So something like this is going to give us room for some apiaries, which is totally fine. And then something like this gives us a little bit more room for some more apiaries and a bit more in the way of shared burgage plots, which I'm fine with. I don't love that layout. That's kind of okay, though, I suppose. It might be a bit of a waste of space, though. What if we go slightly smaller on this and do this instead? That's just 1 burgage plot. This is 2 burgage plots. I think I'm okay with this. And then this space down here, not really too sure what it's going to end up looking like. Definitely not doing that. Let's try and fill. Can I fill this space? Is it going to give me the option to sort of fill this space? I'm not 100% sure that it will. It'd be really nice if it did. We can do that, I suppose, which kind of fills the space. And then this corner can just be a bit of a weird one, I guess. We can give them an expansion slot. We'll do some apiaries back there as well. And that's going to be room for 8 families. We have 7 that are homeless. I think this will work. I think this will be really good. We'll get some bees in there, which should help with the fields, I think. And I like this. I like what we've managed to do here. Although I will say, I'm slightly concerned about the fact that there's not that many trees left in this area. So I think, despite the fact that it's probably not that necessary, I am going to do some foresters. I think just to sort of put this area back together a little bit, I think some foresters will be a really good idea. So I want to put one, I'm kind of thinking the end of this road. I might go a little bit further out though. So I might just build this road kind of out to here. And then at the end of that road, we can put a forester. I think that would be kind of neat for the area. So we'll do something like this. And that'll let us start putting trees in there. Eventually, we could get some woodcutters out that way. We have this space up here as well. I think I kind of want to do the same thing. It's a little bit out of the way, but I think it's going to be good. And again, we can put some woodcutters out this way at some point. So we'll do a forester right about there. And we'll get ourselves a little road. Oh, I'm going to pause because that sounded like the sound that we hear when enemies have are approaching. I can speak, I swear. Let's just connect this guy, I guess, across this way as well, because we can, and I think it probably makes sense to have a couple of connections to that forester. So down to about there should be fine. What are we dealing with? Enemy unit has been spotted. Where? Ooh, I don't like that. That is Nordvand. Okay, we can deal with that. Do we still have troops down here? Oh my god, I never dismissed them. Okay, where's this one? What are you doing? Wait, where are you from? You're from Nordvand as well. Oh my god. You need to get over there. This is what you need to do. You guys are going to go and try and counter this enemy force. you guys are all here already, so you're going to go there. And I guess we have a bit of a fight before we wrap things up for today. Now, it looks like they're in this space, which is all right. I need you guys to move up there and deal with them as best you possibly can. Not really too sure where they are or where they're going right now. It looks like they're coming down towards us, which is an interesting choice. Let's put my archers here. Let's get my crossbow militia here. And let's get my militia footmen a little bit further forward. Let's start moving. Where are the rest of my troops? Did I not rally you guys? I could swear I did. That was kind of the idea, was I wanted to rally you guys in there, if you wouldn't mind. Because these guys might struggle a little bit. There's a lot of enemies and not a lot of infantry that we have to fight them with, which is doing me a bit of a concern. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. So hopefully my crossbowmen don't get absolutely murdered here. It's kind of looking like they might. These guys are a little bit too far away for my liking, so let's try and charge them up here. You guys are going to go in here as well. These other archers are going to go to this spot and hopefully be useful. And that's about all I got. I'm relatively confident we're going to win this fight. In fact, I'd say I'm almost certain we're going to win this fight. Although my crossbowmen are getting absolutely annihilated, which is concerning. I actually kind of surprised we won that fight. My militia footmen also getting kind of annihilated there. Don't love to see that. Yeah, a little bit concerned that we're losing some people. Again, we're going to win. We'll be okay. We'll pull this off. I just don't love that we just lost a squad of infantry. And I don't love that we're about to lose my crossbowmen as well. Yeah, they're gone. So that's not good. That's all sorts of not good. Not pleased about that. But again, we'll sort of be okay. Let's have my archers deal with that squad of enemies. Look, we're winning this fight no matter what happens. I'm not pleased that we lost anybody in that. Not pleased about it, but it's okay. Let's disband you guys. It could have been a lot worse. It could have been a bunch of guys that spawned and attacked this place that we've been struggling to get off the ground for however long. They didn't do that, so it's not the end of the world. Let's also tax these guys 10% just so that we can hopefully pay off the royal tax this year, because if we can't do that, we might be in trouble. And I think that puts us in a decent spot here. Although I would like to get these foresters up and running. I think it's going to be kind of nice to get a bunch of trees in here. I'm hoping that we're going to be okay. There's a lot of construction to be done here, to be fair. So I'm this place is a mess. Like all these burgage plots over here. You know what I might do? I know I said we were just going to wrap things up, but I think we're going to make some slight changes here. I think we're going to come in and we're going to put some new burgage plots over here is what we're going to do. So we'll do something like this. Those are some pretty, actually, you know what? We'll do it slightly differently. We'll do it this way so we can get some really decently sized burgage plots, something like this. And then we'll do one big burgage plot in this corner because we can. We'll do kind of similar here. We'll go to about this size and do another, maybe, can I get like 3 burgage plots in there? Is that going to be an option for me? If I go to about there, yep, 3 burgage plots. I want to get some that are along this road just because I can. I know we don't need to do this, but I think it'll look cool if we have some burgage plots in here. We could do chickens, we can do whatever in this space. These can maybe become artisans or something like that, but I just kind of want them along the road. Although, well, do I? Is it a waste of space? It kind of is. Let's just be sensible about this and we'll do this instead. And that's going to give us another bunch of big old burgage plots right there. So the reason I want to do this is because I think I'm just going to get rid of these guys. These plots over here are fine. It's just that they're all over the place and they're messy and it annoys me. I want to know where everything is, and I don't know where everything is right now. I don't know what we have. So I think just clearing these old plots out, they're all different shapes and sizes. I think it's the right thing to do. Now, unfortunately, this is going to leave us with a lot of homeless families. So fortunately, we do get to go in and build another bunch of burgage plots, which I'm absolutely going to do. So we're going to fill up this space here with a whole bunch of burgage plots. Those can probably have vegetable gardens as well. We can fill up this space over here with a whole bunch of burgage plots, and those will have a variety of things. That gives us room for plus 33 families. We still have 34 or 36. I don't know which one. It's 34 up here. It's 36 in the menu. But that should give us almost enough room for everybody, which is completely fine. So I guess what I'd like to do now, just before we wrap things up, is move the trading post. So we're going to build just a new one, essentially. And I kind of want it to be in this space right here, kind of next to everything else that we have going on. So we'll put it kind of right on this corner. I think that'll be a little bit better for a trading post. And then I think this road here, I want to remove because it's kind of a mess. And I think we can do a better job with a road, a little something like this. That's going to sort of go, well, I guess it needs to kind of go up there. So we'll sort of gradually curve it around, snap it to about there, and just sort of continue it through to about there. And that's completely fine. It's not much different. It's just got a bit of a curve to it, which, you know, it's something I like. And I think what we'll do now is just another small handful of burgage plots. Not really any huge burgage plots, but just a little something from here to there. And I think just something like that. Just a handful of plots that go around the lake, just to fill in that space and give us just a few more people that can move in, that can live here, contribute, and it gives us a little bit of space at the back of them for some workshops as well, which I think is going to be great. So that'll be the plan. I think this is how we're going to do it. Let me see if I can maybe get this to snap in a way that doesn't look terrible. Not really too sure we're going to be able to do that, but I think this looks pretty good to me. So we'll get that built as well. And that now gives us room for 41 families. We have 34 that are homeless. This is going to be good. It's a lot of construction. It's a lot of stuff that we have to do here, but I think it's going to be worth it. I think it's going to be good. I think getting some apiaries out here will be really good for us as well. So what do we need for you? We need timber, which we don't have. We need planks and money for you. So let's get some apiaries out here. Vegetable gardens for these guys. This is good. I like this a lot. I'm really, really pleased with what we've managed to do with this town. I love that we took it over. We've demolished everything. I think this trading post, this original trading post, is like the only part of this place that is original. I think everything else at this point has been removed. I mean, some of the roads, obviously, but I don't think anything else is, yeah, I think everything else is new, which is pretty cool. Honestly, I love this stage of Manor Lords when you kind of just like move into a new region and in the space of like 2 hours, just build an entirely new town. It looks great. Although the food situation is not great, the fuel situation is good. We're going to get there. We will get there. I think all of these guys have their chickens, they have their pigs, they have their goats, they have their vegetable gardens. We'll have a bunch more vegetable gardens here shortly. We can hopefully... Do we have bread? We have bread. So it's coming together. Obviously, there's more rye fertility down here as well, so we can get these farms to be a bit better. I'm excited. I am excited for this place to come together. And so I think that is going to do us for today. I'm sure this episode was a fair bit longer than some of the recent ones. I do apologize, or you're welcome. I don't know. It depends on your opinion on the longer episodes. I will say I do see the feedback. I do see people every now and then talking about wanting longer episodes, different things. I'm trying to find a nice balance. I've been doing this business for a long time, man. I've been doing this YouTube thing for over 13 years now, at least on this channel. Over probably 15. I think 15 years ago is about when I started my first like gaming channel. If we're talking non-gaming, we're probably talking closer to, I don't want to think about how long I've been doing this. Probably close to 20 years. On and off. It's gaming stuff for 15, ConflictNerd for over 13. Anyway, my point being, I have yet to find a balance between how, like, the right length for a video versus how long it takes to make. This is a whole how the sausage is made kind of conversation. The point I'm trying to make is that I'll get there eventually, whether the episodes all end up being like 90 minutes long or 5. They're not going to be 5 minutes long, but you know what I mean. We'll find a nice balance one day, hopefully before the channel turns 20 years old. I've got plenty of time, I think. In saying that, the last 13 years have flown by. You know what's also not flown by? This outro. Let's leave it there for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.